Hello, you sassy senoritas, and welcome back to the show. God, would it be an episode if I didn't immediately... If that wasn't the intro, just... You boys on the piss again. We are into the grogs, full of chicken nuggets. It's a Friday night, and this is how I choose to spend my time. So, saddle up for fucking that. There exists. This is obviously a few days removed from Happy Therapy Day. I did about a half episode after therapy and just kind of, it went nowhere. I didn't really have any thoughts, so nothing really came of it. It's kind of 20 minutes of fuck all, and then now I got to go back and edit it because I accidentally said April's real name a bunch of fucking times. So that one will probably just stay in limbo, and I don't know what I'll do with it because it was not very good. Let's catch you all up on the admin items. We have a bit of farewell to May. There will be no more May says. There will be no more mentions of May beyond kind of talking about it as a learning lesson, I kind of guess, because again, it's the same thing as last time. I really should have kind of listened to my intuition and my guts on this one, and I chose not to. And this is kind of where we got. So, I kind of saw it coming, honestly. She was pretty easy to read, very transparent in her behavior. So she had some thoughts about me and where I'm at emotionally that I didn't fully agree with. She made some salient points, but overall, I felt like it was kind of just some excuses. So we parted ways, I feel, amicably. We had a little discussion about it because, it really felt like she was kind of personally attacking me, despite her saying that it was just an outside observer's view. And I didn't agree with a lot of what she had to say. I kind of came back and said, I don't really feel that you know me well enough to kind of say these things about me. Like you can't really tell me that I don't know myself well enough to know where I'm at dating wise. But that's kind of neither here nor there. So farewell to May. I feel like we left it in a good spot. I don't know. Same thing I told April, honestly. Before the disaster that was last weekend, I just kind of said, hey, you know what? I'm always happy to hear from you in the future when, you don't feel like you have to lie to me about being so fucking busy when you really should have just told me that you weren't interested. So onwards and upwards, which is fine, actually. There was a few things, and this is kind of like hindsight / cover my ass, I'm sure it sounds like, but there was a few things about her that I was kind of unsure about. She was a crystal girl. She was very into Reiki, which I'm kind of not all about. So long to May, and onwards and upwards. The podcast has been edited. I've gone back through the Problem Child episodes 6 and 13 and removed the questionable thing or two that I shouldn't have said about April. So if you're new here, you will never know what I'm talking about. But yes, those episodes have been edited, and the shit talking has been... Just to really be clear here, because I think we're going to probably release the podcast to the general public on either this episode or the 21st. When I say shit talking, I don't mean talking badly. It's a catch-all term for what we do here on the podcast, which is run our fucking mouth like we know what we're talking about when we very clearly don't. So, begin. Ooh, that one was a little erotic. Not on a very eventful week, honestly. End of the job kind of shit always, there's not a lot going on. It's a little bit of make work just to keep me occupied while we wait for The last couple odds and bobs to kind of happen and get taken care of. So not a whole fucking lot going on there. Oh, foul. Sorry, I'm full of chicken nuggets. Yeah, putting stickers on shit and running up and down 6 flights of stairs like I'm fucking training for a marathon. Good God, my poor legs. Where the fuck was this going? Oh, yeah. So there was a meeting today, allegedly, and it was an hour and a half after we're done for the day. So I volunteered to kind of, I'll hang around and I'll go to this fucking meeting. That's going to be a waste of everyone's time because the Frenchman has 2 children and I have no children and no partner and no pets. So fuck, what the fuck else was I going to do? I was going to come home and have a nap. So we go get some lunch, and then I'm sitting in our lockup, and I'm watching Clone Wars, which I've decided to start again because I'm ready to have my feelings hurt again. I'm ready to suffer and cry at the end of it like a big guy. I'm a big boy. And then I decided, we're just going to rest the old eyes for a little bit. We're a little tired, weaning ourselves off the Red Bulls again because your boy was on about a liter a fucking day. So it was probably time to say goodbye. I need a better cable fucking management solution here because this mic does not want to play nice. But yes, it was time to bid a fond farewell to the Red Bulls. I was tired of fucking trying not to piss myself all day after I drank them. And my 4 coffees a day. So we thought, well, we're coming off the Red Bulls. We will we'll rest our eyes here. Not a nap, just a closing of the eyes and a restful sit while we listen to a podcast. Your boy fell asleep at work in the lockup and damn near missed this fucking meeting. So, and then the meeting actually ended up being canceled and nobody thought to tell us. So I hung out for nothing. So shout out to the general contractor on this job. Thank you for wasting my afternoon. 2 Fridays in a fucking row. What do we got tonight? It's kind of, I took a little break here, a couple days, because I was like, what do we talk about now that kind of April's resolved and like the girl I am talking to, like there's not a ton of drama there, honestly. She's pretty fucking normal. And, sorry, the old friend is texting me. Everybody spare a kind thought for the old friend as well. She came by yesterday and we did hot girl laps for about 2 fucking hours. And she was just yarning to me about some of the stuff she's going through. Good grief. So, bit of a rough go for the old friend. We are trying to be supportive and build her up. And, Senorita, you have value and worth, and we adore you. So, spare a thought for the old friend as you listen to the podcast. She's going through it, and it just is fucking shitty for her. So, sorry, Senorita. Your boy Rackham is here for you. We can do hot girl laps around the neighborhood anytime you'd like. And then tomorrow we are going to the haunted house where I will fully be joining the League of Adult Bedwetters and pissing myself in front of her. And then I'm going to take her for dinner. So, and she has agreed that there will be a hug at the end of the haunted house regardless of the level of piss in my pants. And she will tell me what a big brave boy I was going through the haunted house. Big brave boy. Senorita, we cherish your friendship. So, there's not a lot of drama going on right now though. But like the girl I am talking to, like she's very normal. She's I don't want to say too much just because I learned my lesson about, giving a month to someone too early. Because now I burn May. Fuck's sake. So, no name for her, but we are very intrigued by her. She's very, very smart. She's much smarter than I am, I think. So, it's kind of, I don't know what the word is. Not humbling or emasculating. It's just kind of fun that she is just so smart. I was talking to her tonight, and she was out for dinner with her roommates and she had 4 lectures today, and her roommates all had midterms. And I was like, I had a 4-hour nap, and then I'm eating chicken nuggets and watching Clone Wars, the children's show. So, different Fridays, but also I'm a little bit older than her, shock horror, and not in school to restart a completely new career. Holy fuck. So we will see where that goes. It's a little bit of slow burn. I had messaged her earlier in the week because we've been chatting for about a week now, and I just said, hey, like, you got any free time coming up? I'd love to meet you, take you out or something. And she comes back with, yeah, I would really like that. I'd like to get to know you a little bit better first. I had a friend over the summer who was murdered on a first date. And this is not the other girl whose friend was murdered, I have to say. Why I keep meeting girls whose friends have been murdered, I couldn't tell you. It's definitely not something I seek out. But she said that, and then, just a piece of shit that I am, the first thing that popped into my head is that Peter Griffin line where he says, who the fuck sits down and starts a conversation like that? The intrusive thoughts did not win that day. I restrained myself, and we're all very proud of me for that. So let's yarn a little bit about the therapy homework for this week, because I got something percolating. This isn't a proper true Therapy Eve episode, but I feel like I need to chat a little bit of this out, and you get to come along for the ride. So in a minute, the lost episode has been completed. I sent it to Kayla, and she hooned back to me and told me that I needed to finish it. So I gave it a thought, chatted with some peeps, and then sat down earlier this week, and it's done now. It's an hour and 5 minutes. It's my whole testimony. And I don't know if I'm going to post it, honestly, because it really, really does not. It's out of place compared to the other episodes. And, we're still kind of fence sitting despite everything with Ruth and all that. I really kind of am still struggling on what I'm doing there. So we have a meeting with Dan on next week, and we're going to yarn about a thing or two, I'm sure. So I guess we will see what we see. But yes, the lost episode may no longer be the lost episode. It is pretty well ready to post. I have a minor bit of editing I keep forgetting to do on it, but other than that, like, it's in the chamber and ready to go. It's just me hesitating to pull the trigger. You all almost got very lucky this evening. Ruth went and redid her hair. Naughty senorita. Hold that thought, y'all. This is going to click. And we're back. Okay. Yeah, you all almost got very lucky tonight. The old friend just about came by, and we were going to do a drunk podcast and just shit talk the old days, but shanghaied into watching a movie with her mom. So another day, mayhaps, we will get the old friend on here and just get absolutely licked up and do a podcast. Yeah, no April updates. The bet was 2 weeks, so she still got time, but we shall see. I haven't really been chatting about the podcast on Snapchat because I haven't been doing it. So mostly just my day and shit videos of me crawling around in fucking holes in the ground and stuff. So I don't know. Let's see, actually. Because we are trying not to see. All right. Yeah, that answers that. Okay. So the homework. The homework for this week, if you guys don't know, because I never finished that episode. Wow. You're a smart boy, aren't you, Rackham? The homework this week was a choose your own adventure. Jilly said the homework is whatever I want it to be, which honestly, nightmare level of stuff where I'm like, why would you do this to me, Jilly? I'm indecisive, but I was thinking about it in the shower of all places the other day, and I just kind of I let my mind wander wherever it may roam, and got to thinking, and I kind of was like, why can't I let things go, good and bad, like I hold these grudges for years and years for anyone I feel has wronged me. And this was actually something January and I told me after we had split up and been separated for a little bit. She was like, I don't want to piss you off because we have this like really fragile piece right now. And I know how you are with holding a grudge. And she's not wrong, honestly. I have grudges older than the tenure I have at my job, honestly. So I'm looking at my dad's second wife. I am very eagerly awaiting the day she's on her deathbed. I have some choice words for her. Fucking cunt. But there's the bad side of that where I hold a grudge forever and a day. Not as much as I used to. Now I'm old. Now I'm tired. My grudge is just... I don't need any more. They're a finely tuned garden of fucking resentment at this point. But... And you know what else falls in the bad is people. Because very clearly, if you've run through the whole podcast, like I am and was having a very hard time letting go of April. And I think about it sometimes and I'm like, I wonder what she must think that I like am having such a hard time getting over this when in reality it was like a 1 month relationship. Like what does that say about me? Beyond that, I very clearly have an anxious attachment style. So we're probably going to yarn and dig into that, honestly, is kind of like, why do I struggle so much letting go of people and things and stuff? Because like even things, this used to drive January crazy. I basically have, if you've ever given me a card at any point for any reason, I have it somewhere. I still have it. I've got every card that was ever given to me for at least the last 15 years. If I dug around and really looked for it, I bet you I could find, because I have the movie on the shelf here. The old friend got me The Fox and the Hound on DVD for my birthday one year. So it's like 12 years ago. If I really dug into it, I bet you I could find the card that came with that. So I've always, and you know what, especially if it's from my dad, if it's something my dad has given me, I will never throw it out. I will hold on to it until the day I die. And that actually kind of broke when January and I moved out of the place we were living in before we moved into the last place we lived. I threw out a lot of the furniture that my dad had given me that I've been holding on to for like 6 years because I was like, what's from my dad? I can't get rid of it. My dad gave me that. What do you mean get rid of it? So January was very pleased with that. She hated a lot of that furniture, but she also ruined a lot of that fucking furniture due to carelessness. So yeah. And I don't know. It's also kind of like, will Jilly be proud of me again for thinking of this shit, right? So I don't know what that fucking says about me. Oh, that looks so good, Ruth, though. Good job, senorita. And I don't know where that comes. I have abandonment issues, obviously, but I don't know. It's the April one that really gets me because I never really held on to January like this, right? Like it ended and I was sad, and of course I was kind of like, does it have to end? But that was more, I don't want to give up this sense of, we've talked about this like sense of security and comfort, and basically that, like, it was predictable and I knew what to expect, and I kind of just assumed falsely she would always be there, and it was just the relationship I was in. And then when it went away, like, it was a real rug pull kind of, because I never expected it, to tell you the truth. And she did do a little bit of acting there the last couple of days, and I genuinely didn't see it coming until it was too late. And you know, it all worked out and for the best, I think. I don't know. I haven't heard from her since I moved into this place, actually, and we did the division of things. So you know what, actually, I was thinking about it the other day, because she kicked me off all the fucking streaming services, but didn't change the password. So I'm like, senorita, you can kick me out all you want. I still have the fucking password to all this shit. So, but I just made my own. But her brother's ex came up for me on Bumble the other week, and I fucking super liked her or whatever. I'm wondering if now that, because I don't know that January really knew that I was dating. So I'm wondering if the ex told her brother and her brother told her, and she decided that, you know what, he's moved on. It's time to pay for your own Disney Plus like a big boy, which is just too funny to me. So, but yeah, I never really kind of struggled with this with January beyond what I feel is kind of like normal breakup stuff. And as we've said, like April was a really big help in clearing that last hump with her. Not that I was like holding on or holding out like April thought I was and using her as this kind of stand-in, because I never was, but it was just the last little bits to get me over the hump through the door or whatever. And now I really don't think about January at all. Which, again, like we've talked about, is fucking bananas to me, because we were together for 9 months. And here we are like 5 or 6 months out, or 9 months, 9 fucking years. I get my timelines wrong all the time. We were together for 9 years. And, oh, for fuck's sake. So sorry, senoritas. Here we are 5, 6 months removed from it. And I'm like, she really does not cross my mind. I don't think about her. I have no desire to be in contact with her or like check in with her or see how she's doing. Couldn't care less. But April, who I was with for basically 4 weeks, that's my struggle. And you know what? We're doing better this week. I talked to Jilly about it last week, obviously, and there was no after action for report from the therapy because there was really nothing to report. It was kind of a good session. Jilly was just kind of, we just yarned about this, that, and the other. I don't even remember, honestly, to tell you the fucking truth. But I did say, like, you know, I need to be a little more intentional about not checking Snapchat to see if she's checking my shit. And for the most part, I've been pretty good for that this week. The odd one here and there where I slip up and kind of have a boo, but otherwise, like, I've been a fairly well-behaved senorita this week. So, World War III is real. Mike, what are you talking about? But and this is kind of what I want to dig into, why I can't let go. Because for all that I've said, and all you guys know and all you don't know, because some stuff I keep to myself, you wouldn't think it, listen to me talk shit, and run my fucking mouth, but there is some stuff I kind of just, microphone play nice. There is some stuff I kind of just keep to myself, because it's nobody's business but hers and mine, and she never knew to ask. So, and I think sometimes that, and this is kind of where the miscommunication was recently with her and I, because I think I sent her episode 15 or episode 16. I can't remember. Let us look live on the podcast instead of being prepared for this. It was 15, hitting a dead horse one last time. And I'm at the end of that episode, and I sent her that one. And at the end of that episode, I say, like, you know, I have to move on. I can't keep making podcasts about you. I can't keep thinking about you. Like, this is just too hard. And at the time when I recorded that, I said that because it was the only option. So I thought. I didn't think she was receptive to hearing from me or talking to me or any of that shit. And then that night, we're chatting a little bit, and I'm like, okay, you fucking idiot. Like, you said all this stuff about, like, you're done, blah, 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 moving on, blah, 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 because when I recorded that, like, I thought it was the only option. I did not think there was another option beyond to, you know, move on, because I'm pretty sure she has a new partner, and has moved on much quicker than me. So, but how do you chatting with her when I never thought that that was kind of a possibility, and it really isn't anymore. But like talking to her, like, how am I supposed to be like, well, I'm open to trying again, and like I still have feelings for you, when I literally an hour before that had sat down and recorded a podcast where I was like, I'm moving on, blah blah blah, because it was because I thought it was the only option. I didn't realize that there was any other choices but that. So kind of shot myself in the dick there. You know what though? Did I? Because not to say that like I had any hope that there was this chance for reconciliation, just, and this is where we're kind of circling down to, is why can't I let go? Because the sad fucking truth is, if she came back and gave me even a half decent apology and was willing to talk some things out without shutting down or getting upset, like, I would entertain the thought of giving her another chance. I really would. Because I can't fucking let go. And the feelings are still there a little bit. Not as strongly as they were, but like, she just made such an impact on me and left such a mark that I'm like, I guess this is just going to be with me for a long time now, how impactful she was on me. And again, like, this is kind of gay, and I said it in the one episode, but like, the way I'm second guessing saying some things because I am about to release the podcast to the general public. So I know like everybody that knows me might hear this if they're interested, but like, sorry y'all, feel free to roast on me for this one, but like, the way that and we've talked about this, the way my soul kind of reacted to hers really has stuck with me. Just the way it resonated and the way she made me sing inside. But at the same time, this side of her she kind of showed me last weekend, I don't know. I don't really know what to think. So I just try not to think about her, honestly, because it's the same fucking problem I had when we were together. It's the same problem I have even now. I'm like, I don't know how you feel about me. And that's pretty well all the answer I need. Because I've kind of learned that people who kind of keep it, who don't show you how they feel about you, they're showing you. You're just choosing not to see it. Like I was for the second month we were together, in air quotes. So as much of like a fun thought experiment it is to kind of sit here and be like, well, what if there was a chance and blah, blah, blah. And you don't know how she feels. Maybe she still has like, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. We'll never know. But I find that actions, that's a cliche for a reason. Like, actions speak louder than words. And her actions kind of show me that she either doesn't care, didn't care, or has moved on. So, as much fun as it would be to keep torturing myself and fucking hang on to this for way too long, like I did with the girl I dated in high school, I'm not really interested in torturing myself. Like, I really did love her, and we can talk it to death, guys. I can go all around in circles for fucking hours about April. And we're trying not to. But the long and short of it is, like, that's kind of why I can't let go. And also, I kind of hate closing a door. And I did this with May, even when she wasn't being rude, but she was being presumptuous and a little condescending. I still was like, happy to hear from you in the future if you ever decide that I'm someone worth making time for, because that was really the problem. And she was a fucking flake. That was what just kind of drove me crazy, is I'm like, It's neither here nor there. I don't want to speak poorly about her, but so yeah, just why can't I let go? And I'm a little too I've had a few too many grogs here to really coherently think about this properly, but I don't know. That's definitely something I'd like to dig into with Jilly, is kind of like, why do I hold on to this shit? Why do I hold on to people? Why do I hold on to things? Like, I'm not a hoarder, but like I said, like if it's from my dad, it will never be thrown out. I will keep that in. It will go in my fucking grave with me, more than likely, if I have anything to say about it. Because there you go, there's another one. Why does my father's approval matter so much to me when my mother's doesn't? Ooh, podcast. We are learning things about ourselves tonight. That's funny. Oh, man. And there's that intrusive thought again. Have April on the podcast. Fuck me, would that be funny? Jilly thought that was hilarious too. She's like, if you could pull it off, that would be fantastic. I really think that would be good. There's no way I'd ever be able to. So, as much fucking fun as that would be. And that thought, honestly, kind of comes in. It's my Roman Empire thought at least once a day where I'm like, do it. Fucking text her and just say, hey, you want to come on the podcast? I will not. I just don't think she'd ever do it. I'm not afraid of my dirty laundry airing out. Like I've told you guys, I was needy, I was clingy, I was pathetic, like needed all this fucking reassurance from her constantly, to the point that I'm sure she was just exasperated with me. And she told me, she was like, it stresses me out when your name comes up on my phone now. So, I was a shitty partner to her. And I've said it, and I will say it, and I will never not say it. She's not the villain. And this is a very one-sided story because she's not here to defend herself. So don't ever think that April was the villain and I was some poor victim. Like, it was not that at all. It was two adults, and we both made a lot of mistakes, and it got us to here. And I just I'm having a hard time getting past it. Whereas it doesn't seem like she is. So, but I don't know. I'm not her. I don't talk to her. I don't know where her head's at. So, but yeah, I think it would be beyond entertaining to have her on the podcast and just kind of like, here's what I saw. Like, defend your position. Why did you treat me like this? Why did you treat me like this? Like, I don't know. It's a pipe dream. It'll never happen. We'll have to have the giggle about it and move on with our lives. But Kayla will probably be on next week. The old friend and I, it won't be for a few weeks now just because of the way her life is kind of set up. Or who knows, maybe because we're going out tomorrow night, maybe we'll end up here and we'll get a little fucking drunk and sit down and do an episode and talk about how I pissed my pants as a 35-year-old man. Oh, it's going to be a good night. And there's a petting zoo. I'm hoping to touch a goat. Let's just say I touched and shot some livestock. All right. It is drink refill time and cigarette time, so I will be back shortly. All right, and we're back. And shock horror, I'm not positioned correctly, so there may be some crash bang booms. Look at your boy go. You know what? Keeping with the trend of I'm a professional and this is a professional recording podcast, blah blah blah. Let's send a live voice note. Oh no! Wow, fuck! Drop the phone. Better start that over. God damn it! And this is to the new girl. Hello, Senorita. This is live on the podcast. We are recording right now. If you have anything you would love to tell the audience or be passed along, now is your time to shine. Okay. I'm going to regret this in the morning. The last time I was 4-drink mommy was fucking apocalyptically hungover the next day. So let's hope we can fucking behave ourselves here. So yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about. Shock horror. I've been gone for like 10 minutes here. So oh yeah. Will I ever shut the fuck up about April? I will. because we're moving on. I can feel it this week especially. And she really helped me along down that path. So thank you, April. And I can say it sincerely because I really do mean it. So, and I wrote on the whiteboard just there, homework now. Why can't I let go? Why does my father's opinion to me, about things matter to me in all things? And, the sister and I have talked about this before, how before we make like any kind of moderately large life choice, dad has to be consulted. And it's like not optional. When I bought my truck, I did not involve my father at all. And the whole time I felt like a little kid sneaking vodka from his parents. So, that's just that about that. I don't know. It's probably something to do with like, he was not the primary parent during my formative years. My mom was. So I don't know. My sister would probably have a better insight into this. I'll ask her when she's on the show. But yeah, I'm a 35-year-old man and I cannot make a major life decision without consulting my father. So, and you know what? It drives my mom up the fucking wall that my sister and I are like this, because she's like, nobody ever fucking asked me what I think. And I'm like, why would I care what you think? I care what dad thinks, but no mom drama. The girl says, long time listener, first time caller. No comments. It's funny. Oh, hopefully it goes well, because I hate listening back to them with like shit from May, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. This is in the podcast forever now, and May kind of fucked me off again. So I don't know. But yeah, my father. It's a complicated relationship. I'm kind of curious to dig into. Yeah, I'm sure Jilly is, I don't know. We may have moved on from mom drama, because I think, I don't know, Jilly was kind of saying last week or this week, I guess, it like, well, there's not a ton there to mine right now because it doesn't really affect me. Like, I don't really concern myself with what my fucking mother is doing beyond when the latest and greatest drama happens and my sister loops me in. But other than that, like, I don't really spare a thought for my mom. So that's and that's really sad to say, honestly. Like, and I know there's people out there that have it fucking way worse than me. And my mom being just crazy and saying mean shit to all the family members is, in the grand scheme of things, not that fucking bad. But it's really kind of shitty when like someone who's supposed to be your fucking parent decides to act like this. So I don't know. I try not to think about it too much, because why waste the fucking horsepower on it? But then I waste all this time. Sorry guys, fuck me. This cold will not fuck off. I waste all this time kind of just thinking about April. So you know what? This is probably a little TMI embarrassing, but I did tell the old friend last night, because like, an old friend, I know you're listening to this, but we talked about this last night, so I feel like this is not offside. But after we got done our 2 hours of Hot Girl Labs, we were just chatting, and I was like, hey, like, I don't want you to think that I'm not like interested in you beyond friends. Just to really be clear here before we go too far, and then that's just not an option anymore. Like, I really want to be clear here. Like, if that is something you want to pursue, I would be very open to it. But she came back and she said she wasn't panicking. I could hear the fear in her voice. But there you go. There it is, guys. Your regularly scheduled episodic me watching my thought leave without me attached to it. No, And she said too, she's like, I'm still fucked up from my ex, this, that, and the other. And I said, hey, like, I'm not talking like, let's get fucking married tomorrow or this, that, or the other. I'm just like being very clear, putting it out there. Like, I'm more than happy to just be friends with you because I enjoy our conversations. I enjoy the dynamic we have right now. Like, this is something I never thought I would kind of have with her just based on the relationship we had when we worked together. But at the same time, if you ever wanted to take it beyond that, be it whatever you're comfortable with at that time, I am more than open to that. And I am just putting that out there at the beginning so that we're all kind of on the same page here. So look at me go. Therapy's working. I said I used my big boy words instead of big boy sentence, but it was just kind of funny because she was fucking ripped. Barbecued too, so I could hear it in the voice note like, oh, she's a good little senorita. And you know what? It has been very nice catching up with her and reconnecting with her. And our relationship has kind of taken on like a whole new dynamic now because I don't know how much I want to get into this because it's kind of something I kept myself at the time and then never really thought about afterwards. So we'll keep it to ourselves now too. But I don't know. It's kind of cool to come back to it like it's literally been 10 years because the last time I saw her was at the end of the first week when I started my job I do now. And that was over 10 years ago. My 10 years in this field I'm in now was last month. So it really is kind of cool to see how the dynamic has changed kind of now that we're more mature and older, and like I was 25 then, she was 21 now. Fuck, here we are 10 years later. She has a kid, and like I don't know, it sucks that it took 10 years and like we didn't really keep in touch, but at the same time, like I'm very glad we reconnected because I don't know, like I said, I really enjoy the dynamic and I like talking to her, and she said she likes talking to me, so I don't know. It is what it is. We're playing it by ear. At this point, I'm just kind of happy to have met a woman who is not fucking insane and knows how to have a conversation. So shout out to the old friend for being a real one and being able to carry her half of the conversational heavy lifting most days. So thank you, senorita. And you know what, guys? We kind of limped across the finish line here. I think with like the lack of all this April drama, I actually need to start like planning these a little better because it's a little tough lately to kind of sit down in front of the mic and just kind of get drunk and shoot my mouth off and talk shit like I usually do. So there will still be some of those, I'm sure, because sometimes the inspiration strikes and I think about something all day and I come home and I turn it out into a fucking 40-minute podcast. So, and then like there'll be the drunk episode with the old friend, and if I could con any more of my friends into coming over and getting licked up with me, fucking rights, I'll do it. But I'm trying to talk the Frenchman into it. But we live on opposite sides of the city. So an Uber from like my house to his house or his house to my house would be like fucking $60 one way. So that is kind of planning in the works. I don't know. I might just go to him and then we'll spinning iron, because I so badly want to get him on here just to shoot the shit about the Devastator and the Young Buck and the Rizzlord and all that shit. So, because his thoughts are much more cogent than mine about these situations. So, end of the episode housekeeping. If I didn't directly send you the show and you kind of just stumbled upon it, at the bottom of the episode page on Spotify, there is a Q&A box. If you wouldn't mind going down there and filling out and just letting me know like how you found the show, because the analytics say majority of my listeners come from within Spotify, whether that's being served the show by Spotify or stumbling across it. I'm just eternally curious how the algorithm and the internet works. So if you guys wouldn't mind shooting a little message my way, I'm just curious. The podcast does have an email now. It's dumbereveryday42@gmail.com. Name of the show for the number 4, the number 2 @gmail.com. No spaces. Send me your questions, comments, suggestions, topics, concerns, criticisms. Don't tell me to kill myself. That's fucking rude. And I will if something comes through that I think is interesting, I'll definitely talk about it on the show. So other than that, it has been a great episode. Mommy is fucking drunk now, so I can't wait to pay the consequences of that choice tomorrow. I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is for you, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Hooroo.